Hello, welcome. Should be a quick video. I'm just doing a quick unhaul. It's actually going to be just, I think, even less than 25% of the books I need to unhaul. But I'm going away this weekend and I want to offer these books up to my nephew. So sorry if I look all frazzled and whatever. It's been a very busy day. I've just been like cleaning everything before we go. So let's get started. First book, Artemis, Fowl. By Owen Colfer. I have heard so much good stuff. Everybody who reads this loves it. It took me years to finally read it. I didn't love it. So I checked with my son because it's technically his book and he's fine with getting rid of it, unhauling. So like I said, I want to offer it up to my nephew who's in 5th grade. Perfect time to read it. We have the second one, which is the Arctic Incident. I think I have the order correct. Don't quote me on this. I don't know for sure. Those are both paperback. These are all middle grade. And then the Eternity Code, I think, is 3. Not sure. And then the Opal Deception, book 4. And then the Atlantis Complex is not 5th and not 6th. I don't know. It's later. I'm not sure where it is in the but it's a beautiful copy that it doesn't look like it's ever been read. So those are, hopefully we'll find a new home. If he's not interested in them, my nephew, then I will end up putting these all together in a free little library or something like that. So I have no memory of reading Flush. No memory whatsoever. I don't know anything about it other than I'm sure it's good. It's Carl. I'm not even going to try his last name. I read Hoot. I loved Hoot. I do know that I loved this. I don't remember that I loved it. The only reason I know I read it is because Goodreads, and I gave it 4 or 5 stars. So I must have really liked it. But I don't remember, and I'm going to send it on its way. Again, a good book for him to read. New from here, Kelly Yang. Okay. I have a love-hate relationship with this book. Kelly Yang came to our area to speak, and I was given this book, which I was thrilled. I loved Front Desk. I loved it. I never continued on with the series, so I had high expectations, and maybe that was my fault. It says on the back that Knox and his older brother and younger sister and his parents live in Hong Kong, right at the very beginning of COVID outbreak. And they want to leave Hong Kong and go to their house that they have in California. It was actually their grandmother's, but she's passed, and they've inherited it. And they used to spend summers there. So the kids are very familiar with the house and the neighborhood. They've never gone to school there, though. So unfortunately, the dad has to stay behind because of work. So the mom takes the 3 kids to California, and it's supposed to be about being the new kid, which I love books about being the new kid. And it's also supposed to be about the hatred that they face because they are from Hong Kong and it was COVID. Those parts I really enjoyed, but it was also very much about Knox's ADHD, which is fine, and his poor decision making, also fine. But I could not help wearing the mom hat and thinking if the mother had just spent 5 minutes, 50% of the story wouldn't have happened. And I just couldn't. So I started reading this. Actually, I started reading it in November. My November theme was family. And I got literally halfway and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ended up, I didn't want to DNF because it is Kelly Yang and she writes amazing stories. And I knew it was going to wrap up nicely. And it does. It really does. It just took me a while to get there. I finished this, I think I finished it in January or December or January. I'm not sure. But I did finish it. I gave it a 3.5. It does finish really well. It just was that middle section that I had a hard time with. So, gonna find a new home. Okay. I loved this book. I loved this book. It's The End of the World and I'm in My Bathing Suit by Justin A. Reynolds. Okay. Our main character, Eddie, has his own laundry system. His mom has decided that he's old enough to be responsible, and so he is now in charge of doing his own laundry. Good. But Eddie hates to do laundry, and so he's decided instead of doing laundry every week, he's going to do 1 day of laundry and do all of his laundry in 1 day. So it is now the end of his system, and it is, I think it's the 4th of July, and there's a big beach party, and all he has left is his swim trunks, his bathing suit. So obviously his system worked. The mom finds out, she gets all upset, and he has to stay behind and do his laundry, and they'll come get him when it's time for the big celebrating part at the beach. But something happens and everybody's gone, and so he starts realizing that everybody's gone, not just to the beach, but they're gone. There's nobody around until a few friends, 4 other friends, show up, and they're all like, what happened to everybody? And I loved the story. I did not like that it's written where they break the fourth wall, where he is, I want to be in the story. I want to be in him, in his head, experiencing what he's experiencing. But instead, he's telling me, the reader. So he's constantly talking to the reader. And I don't really like books that are like that. I like to be in the story. So I want somebody out there who's read book 2 to spoil it for me, please. I want to know what happens. I really want to know what happens. I just don't want to have to read it myself. So, highly recommend. I also highly recommend The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle by Leslie Connor. This book, just beautiful. I read it either in September or October, which turned out to be perfect timing because that was actually what was the time of year in the book. Mason Buttle has so many things going against him. He is in middle school. I believe he's 7th grade, and he has diaphoresis. I think that's what it was. Sweats a lot, so much so that he has a spare shirt that he keeps in his locker so he can change midday. He has severe learning disabilities, and so he goes to see a counselor. He does that regularly, so he gets teased for that. He's bullied by this one guy, and of course his name is Mason Buttle, which is not a great name when you're in middle school. But the thing that's against him the most right now is that his friend died a few months earlier. From Mason's treehouse, his friend fell and died, and that's been really hard. But this book has so many awards, and it is just beautifully written. I cannot say enough about it. It's a good book. Trust me, good book. And I am unhauling it. So I'm going to offer that up for my nephew, see if he wants it. And that's it for right now. Like I said, it's going to be a quick video. Just a few books to see if he wants them, and if he doesn't, that's fine. So thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.